Well. Looky what we have here. If it ain't a little bit of a political podcast over here with the Outlaw Posse. We promised y'all this. So those of y'all that come in here and get pissed off, because we're doing politics and not sports, we told you, we warned you ahead of time this was coming. I did change the name back, but we're still going to have to talk something different than college football because there's just nothing else to talk about because there's no such thing as commitments anymore. I don't know why they say a guy committed. They'll say, this guy, the transfer portal, committed to said university, and then he don't. He goes to Texas like Hollywood Smothers. But that's another topic for another day. That's just why I'm not talking about recruiting because there's no such thing as commitment.
Which, by the way, Hollywood Smothers started off at OU.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about, man. They're just everywhere. And there's no use of talking about commitments because there's no such thing as commitments. They're using the wrong word. But today we're going to talk about the Minnesota ICE shooting. Was it justified? We think so. I'm going to even offer the opportunity for anybody that wants to call in. I'm going to provide a link to the show where you can click on that and then come in. We would prefer that you go audio only. Don't put your face up there because it's sort of distracting sometimes and it's not really high quality. So we prefer you come in audio only. So let me go ahead and put that link in here while you start on your tirade.
Yeah, we might want to say hello to the people that are here early. Harvey Johnson was the first man up to bat tonight, followed quickly by Lori and David Whitehead. How y'all doing tonight, man? Let me pull this up on my phone as well. Let me get this down here. There we go. All right. Yes, the link is up. This is very much we want to hear from people. We want to know. Obviously it's a hot topic right now. What's going on in Minnesota? And it's hard. Sometimes when you listen to the two sides talking, it's hard for me to imagine how these two sides are ever going to come together. And maybe that's the bigger problem at hand. But with regard to this shooting, what does everyone think? Was the ICE officer justified in shooting I guess we could break it down in a number of different ways. Why don't I just bring up the footage real quick and let's get a judgment call on the actual footage from the ICE agent. You want to see that? Sure.
All right, I'll bring that up right now. There we go. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
She's a sexy one, I tell you. All right, here we go.
New video has been released from the cell phone of the ICE agent who shot Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis. Jonathan Ross's footage, which was obtained by Alpha News, offers a whole new perspective on the deadly encounter, revealing Renee's wife Rebecca antagonizing ICE agents just moments before Renee peeled off, clipping the agent, prompting him to open fire.
Go ahead. Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
The new first-person clip comes as various angles of the incident have been analyzed by Americans around the country, dividing the nation as to whom to blame. Viral video filmed by a witness that spread across social media soon after the shooting captured Good's SUV idling across a residential street where ICE agents were conducting an immigration operation. An officer approached her door and ordered her out. She reversed briefly, then began to drive while turning to her right, prompting the agent, since identified as Ross, to jump out of the way and fire 3 shots into the windshield and then the window as it passed. Other surveillance video obtained by CNN also captured the moment leading up to Good's death, showing her plum-colored SUV pulling into frame and then letting out a passenger before making a turn perpendicular to the street, seemingly in an attempt to block traffic on the road where ICE had been operating. While protests have erupted across the nation, according to the Trump administration, there should be no question as to who is at fault. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said the officer, a 10-year veteran of the agency, had acted in self-defense and was justified in opening fire, and that Good was part of a mob of agitators attempting to thwart ICE's efforts in enforcing President Trump's immigration crackdown. Vice President Vance firmly echoed that message in a press briefing on Thursday, January 8th.
The reason this woman is dead is because she tried to ram somebody with her car, and that guy acted in self-defense. That is why she lost her life, and that is the tragedy.
In any case, the shooting poured gasoline on the long, smoldering tensions between federal immigration agents and protesters who have fought back, at times violently, against the presence of agencies like ICE enforcing the law in their communities.
Well, now,
I mean, so
looks pretty clear cut to me. And people that continue defending it, saying that she tried to avoid him, that's not the point. He told her to get out of the car. He told her to stop the vehicle, and she didn't stop the vehicle, and she hit him with it, regardless if he put himself there or not. She still hit him with it.
Yeah.
After he told her, get out of the fucking car. That was his words.
Well, I think that's the first thing we have to, and again, we have to deal in facts. Okay? That's the thing that drives me crazy these days. Is when one side seems to not like the facts, they just pretend as if they don't exist. So the first thing is, clearly, we have to agree that she struck him with the vehicle. Was it a lethal blow of the car? No. But she hit him. There's no question about that. She hit him. And
yeah, your phone camera don't just start flopping all over the place and becoming distorted for no reason.
Well, man, and the thing is, you have to judge the situation as it was, right? And the first thing is, you got all of these, you're down there, your sole purpose of being down there is to agitate federal agents who are armed. They are armed with multiple degrees of lethal force, multiple weapons of lethal force. And you're down there antagonizing these people. That's why you're there. So that's the first thing that's just kind of stupid. You're trying to piss people off that have guns. And then, the other thing is, every time a camera gets on one of these protesters down there, they're all now talking about how they want to kill these ICE agents. So you got these ICE agents that are down there, they're on edge because everyone around them is clearly, explicitly violent towards them, wishing that they were dead. And then you clip this guy with a 2,000-pound vehicle, and again, we got to, all of this takes place in a matter of a second or two. And then you got to add to the fact that this particular agent was struck by a vehicle recently at another protest and dragged 10 or 20 feet, something like that, but was definitely dragged after he was hit. So now you got this this federal agent already on edge, head on a swivel. Everyone's out to kill him. Just got dragged not that long ago and almost died. And now he just gets hit by another vehicle. Doesn't it seem logical to assume he might have been concerned that he was about to get dragged again, and maybe this time he doesn't live through it? So he pops off a couple of rounds. I mean, to me, it seems very reasonable, the force that he used.
Here in the state of Alabama,
it's a tragedy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not happy that the woman died. That's horrible.
Well, here in the state of Alabama, if you present in your case that you feared for your life, it doesn't really matter if that person intended for you to fear for your life. If you feared for your life and you can sort of prove that, then they're going to find you not guilty, at least here in the state of Alabama. Like a bunch of these hooligans jumped this security guard. None of them had a gun, but there were 7 or 8 of them. So he thought he's about to die. He's going to get beat to death. So he starts shooting. He kills one of them. He got off, not guilty. They said, well, they didn't even have a weapon. It don't matter. He feared for his life. He thought he was going to die. That guy thought he was going to die probably if he got hit by that car. I mean, that's what I would think.
Especially considering what happened to him recently, man, by another protester. And again, it's not like these people have hidden what they would like to see happen to these ICE officers. They're all talking about how they want us to, how they should die. So are you surprised that one of them might have an itchy trigger finger? I mean, and again, right, wrong, or indifferent doesn't matter. Like, you can't be surprised that this is an outcome when you're down there antagonizing these guys who are, on edge.
Well, let me tell you something else that aggravates me. Is these people say, well, it's a free country, and if just because you don't abide by somebody's orders to get out of the car, they shouldn't have a right to shoot you. Well, I mean, if you're presenting yourself as a harm to them and they tell you to get out of the vehicle, why don't you just get out of the vehicle? Why would you want to put yourself in the position of possibly getting shot? Now, granted, she probably didn't think that because they're used to dealing with those woke-ass, flimsy-ass law enforcement officers in the state of Minnesota, the state police and the local police. This ain't just state and local police, people. These are federal agents. They don't live in your state. Well, they sort of got a little bit of a leeway to handle your ass.
Once again, you bring up something that segues into a good point that I wanted to talk about. One of the things that I've seen in this video that's been replayed several times is that the woman who got shot, her wife, there's video of her screaming, after she gets shot. And one of the things that she screams a couple of times is, why did you have real bullets? Why did you have real bullets? I think that's very telling because, man, again, all these people are down there protesting, largely a bunch of white liberal females. And it's the same thing as the woman who's popping off to a 6'5" guy.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand. She's never been punched in the face. So
because she was like, you better bring your lunch if you're going to come after me.
Right. So These people are down there protesting, they're poking ice and it's as if they think that they're armed with rubber bullets or something. That the worst that's going to happen is they might get roughed up a little bit. No. Yeah, you are messing around with cops, pissed off cops with guns.
Well, these ain't even cops; these federal agents. That's what I'm saying. They're used to these liberal ass. They're used to these Minneapolis police that probably do carry rubber bullets because they're made to by that piece of shit named Tim Walz, who's got this. The state of Minnesota is just everything's in the state of Minnesota now. You even got the Somalian daycare fiasco going on over there. Tim Walz is about to I think he did resign. And how you say her name? The Congress lady from this Somalian from
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, and her ass is being implicated in some of that shit. She might get deported.
Yeah,
it's just everything's going on in Minnesota, man. What's up with Minnesota? But like you said, man, they're used to dealing with these woke ass police departments in Minnesota that have rubber bullets. That's probably what she thought. And the federal agents, they don't do that. They play for keeps.
But my point is that you might be right. That maybe she is thinking, that it's Minnesota, so they're gonna have rubber bullets. Maybe they will. But my point is, whether they do or whether they don't, you can't be surprised if they don't. You are messing around with armed federal agents, basically federal cops. And you cannot be surprised if, it's no different than your local police here. If they're on the scene of a melee and it's craziness all around, are you going to be surprised if they happen to pull the trigger a couple of times? Like, no, you're not. Like the fact that their weapon might go off is not you. Why are you surprised? And you're surprised that they have real bullets? I mean, to me, that was an amazing statement that she made that, because again, like, I do believe that most of these people are down there basically playing make-believe. They're just playing protest. Well, they're bored sitting at home. They got nothing to do. Clearly they don't have jobs. And so they want to go down there and protest like it's cosplay.
They're paid, man. That is their job. They're paid to do that shit. They're paid to do that. A lot of them are paid to do that. Lonesome Darkness, you sort of responded to him, but I want to pull him up real quick. Lonesome Darkness says, I don't know if it's justified, but it's funny how they pretend to care about someone getting shot, and then they laughed about Charlie Kirk getting shot right in front of his kids. That's what I'm saying. It's like these party label loyalties are stupid, man. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican or Democrat getting shot. Someone getting shot, it's probably not a good thing.
No,
Even if sometimes even if they deserve it, it's not a good
the
thing.
woman was still
causing.
She was still a mother. I'm not. Nobody's happy about her. I don't want to see people die. I don't want, even though they're idiots, I don't want them getting shot and killed down there. That's my whole point. That's why I wish. That's why to me, it's the Democrat leadership is getting these people killed. You know,
to say she's a mother of 3 like that's something to make feel sorry for. Anybody can be a mother. Anybody.
No,
can.
my point is, it's still a horrible thing that she died. The kid is still not going to have the kid. It's not the kid's fault.
Even with that, they said 2 of her kids got taken away from her.
That may be, man. But my point is, even though she's in the wrong, it is a horrible thing that happened. The fact that she died, justified or not, is still tragic. There's no question about that. But the reality is, this kind of thing is going to continue to happen if the Democratic and left and progressive leadership doesn't start taking accountability for this. They're the ones to blame. They're the ones riling these people up. They're the ones trying to rile citizens up, to kind of rile protests up in some kind of crazy attempt for it to turn into voter support. And so when they sit there, when Tim Walz gets on TV and he says, people of California, people of Oregon, stand up with us against ICE. He's basically calling people like this woman, Renee Good, to come down there and do the kind of stuff that Renee did that got herself killed. So if the Democratic leadership, once again, they're just proving to you that they don't care about you at all. If they did, they would not be sending their people in harm's way.
I completely agree.
By the way,
it's just like this looks like the Ashley Babbitt situation. Every time something like this happens, they want to try to compare it to somebody else. Just like Democrats and Republicans back and forth. Well, they did this, they did that. Stop worrying about who did what and punish people when they do something that's wrong, regardless of what their party label loyalty is. And they try to compare it to the Ashley Babbitt situation, which is totally different. She was just standing there, wasn't threatening anybody, wasn't told to get out of her car, and wasn't told to lie down and put her hands behind her back. Nothing. He just randomly shot into the crowd. That's a whole lot different, a lot more negligent than what happened here. This lady was told to get out of her car, did not acquiesce, took off, hit this guy, whether she meant to or not, she did it, and then he just defended himself. So what do you say to people that get compared the Babbitt situation to the situation here?
It's totally different. It's a completely different. The use of force is, I mean, again, completely different. Ashley Babbitt was not behind the wheel of a 2,000-pound vehicle that is, striking a human head on. And, again, you can armchair quarterback it all you want. It looks like the way she was pulling off, it does look like to me that she was not trying to run him over, that she was trying to leave, that she just hit him in the process. Maybe she meant to hit him and maybe she didn't. We'll never know. But it doesn't matter whether she was trying to or not. She hit the man with the vehicle and, he didn't realize what she was doing. So he thought she was running him straight over and he shot. If you look at the video, it looks like he could have probably just got hit and just bounced off to the side but then again, he might have saved someone else's life in her attempt to get away. She might have plowed down the street and run somebody else over. So you don't know what would have happened. We only know what did happen.
Well, from the footage I saw, Ashley Babbitt, she was just standing there. She wasn't even antagonizing that guy.
That's right.
They were antagonizing, saying, hey, you better bring your lunch if you want some of us.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you got the lunch brought and you didn't like what you ate. You ate a fucking bullet to the face. What you done. We got our first call in tonight from Daniel Looney. So we're going to let Daniel Looney come in and give him a 5-minute segment on the show.
By the way,
unless he turns into a liberal spastic, then we might gong his ass.
No, I don't think that's coming from Daniel. But by the way, did you see David Whitehead said that the Minnesota House filed articles of impeachment 45 minutes ago on Tampon Tim?
David Whitehead, 5949.
Yes,
Is that who you're talking
sir.
about? The Minnesota House filed articles of impeachment 45 minutes ago on Tampon Tim. Well, goodly good, as Roscoe P. Coltrane would say.
That's right.
So let's bring Daniel Looney in here.
Get
Give him
Daniel
this
Looney in
5-minute
here.
segment. What's going on, Daniel? Welcome to the show.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What do you got for
Yes,
us?
sir.
Give us your opinion.
I think this is something that goes back between Plymouth Rock and Jamestown, to where like you have the North versus the South, but the South has become more like Plymouth Rock rather than Jamestown, needing the Indians that keep them from like dying in the bad stuff, slavery, like etc. But like the Democrats have always been on the wrong side of everything. They were on the wrong side of the Civil War that sent my ancestors to war, that didn't own slaves, to fight northern, it's the Protestant work ethic.
Yeah.
If you've known it. But now Minnesota has become communist without understanding history. And I'm like, why can we not just give them what they want? Let them pass the laws that they want. And then, because they're such losers, we can just throw them in the gulag. Just let it happen. Because they obviously cannot function in any reasonable society.
My
or
question
get
is,
along with anybody else.
why would Somalians want to go to Minnesota? I mean, that's a direct contrast in geography.
Because they're making them. It's making them millionaires. That's why. It's making.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's a big red flag. There's got to be a corrupt reason for someone to want to leave a tropical temperature country to go to the damn barren regions of Minnesota and freeze your nuts off.
Yeah, it's called $1.6 million in cash daily. That's why they're literally raping the state of Minnesota for its cash.
My ex-wife is a redhead ginger. Why the hell would you want to move to the equator?
That's right.
Those people have to freaking take, or they will get sick, vitamin D pills.
That's right.
Differences are okay to acknowledge. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, I think
why would I take my pasty butt to the equator, no matter how tropical it is? I'm going to get skin cancer.
Well,
I
think it's yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. The only thing wrong is when you get to the point where you're judging people based on something stupid like color. And anyone that I know the color part is irrelevant. It's the behavior and the actions of the person. That the content of their character, if you will. That's what it boils down to.
I spent 20 years in the military. To me, there's only two races. Are you blue or are you green?
Yes. There you go.
Other than that, I don't care.
Yeah. That's it.
Now, before I move on from this topic, because we're going to move into that Somalian stuff that you're talking about, Daniel, there's an article here that says the ICE agent who shot Renee Good gets a $10,000 donation from Bill Ackman for his defense fund. And this article goes on to say that a lot of people are emailing GoFundMe and trying to get the $300,000 taken away from them because they say you're not supposed to donate for legal defense purposes. But me and Kill Breeze were talking about this off the air. They actually did that for that black kid that stabbed that white boy, right? Right, Killer?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That makes no sense.
I don't know about that. who the hell's Bill Ackman?
He's a billionaire or some kind of businessman. He donated $10,000 to the GoFundMe of the guy, the ICE agent. I'm trying to look for his name now. His last name's Ross.
Oh my goodness. Even though I'm participating in it, social media is going to be the death of humanity.
Yes.
That AI.
Absolutely true. All right. Well, to me, I don't understand because the at the end of the day, I thought tons of these GoFundMe accounts were set up specifically for people's legal defense. So it seems like they might be cherry picking when they want to, or how they want to interpret that rule that they've got. If they even really have it, they might just be making it up on the spot to just deny paying the money.
But even then,
GoFundMe is probably a pretty liberal thing.
Blind.
What's that, Daniel?
Justice is supposed to be blind. That's why the lady holding the scales has a blindfold on.
Yeah, well, unfortunately,
like rich or poor or whatever, there's right or wrong. And we need to move towards that, but we're moving away from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we don't do a good job. We don't do a good job of that. That's not one of our specialties at this point.
Well, I'll let you brothers go. Thank you for
my
unhinged TED Talk.
Yeah, man.
Right,
we appreciate having you on, man.
But y'all have a good one.
Have a good night, brother.
Hey, Daniel, stick around for the Somalian shit because we're fixing to do that right now.
Yeah, we want you in the chat.
Okay.
All right, brother. That was Daniel Looney. He's been here before.
We hadn't seen Daniel in a while, have we?
Yeah, he's been here before. That's his second at bat. Daniel's not afraid to come up in here. Neither should y'all. I'll put the link in there. If you want to come up in here and give your take on it, even if you don't agree with us, please come in here and give us your thoughts because maybe you can enlighten us. Maybe there's something I missed. Maybe something Killer Breeze missed. Maybe something 200 million people missed. I don't know. You just bring it in here, man.
We've been wrong before.
I don't care what you can change the subject if you do. Y'all can talk about Bigfoot being an alien. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, this is an open forum tonight. But I do think, well, we can get into the Somali thing because that's going to dovetail nicely into another topic we can get into after that. But, so I heard Nick Shirley, you brought Nick Shirley up. I heard Nick Shirley bring up a point that I thought. What's that?
Here's the Nick Shirley link right here. Can you see it? All right. Well, go ahead. What was you saying?
I was just saying that, Nick Shirley. I heard Nick Shirley bring up a good point that I hadn't thought about before, and he said, one of the things, if you remember about Kamala's run for president, is that as soon as she added Tim Walz to her ticket as vice president, they raised like a crazy amount of money overnight in the first 24 hours. I think they raised like
you think
$35 million overnight. And nobody really put much thought into it at the time. Everybody was kind of surprised that she picked Tim Walz over people like Shapiro in Pennsylvania.
She said the reason why she picked Walz because she thought that Shapiro would overshadow her, which is a dumbass reason to pick a vice president. That's dumb.
Well, it was really ridiculous. But considering that Tim Walz was in this state that was just fleecing the state for all this money, seems like maybe, how Arsenio Hall used to say, things that make you go,
That's right.
Maybe Tim Walz had a lot of money that he could take from the state of Minnesota to add to that presidential run.
That's right.
Seems like that makes a lot of sense to me.
Him in the far eastern side of Africa, right? Freaking Somalia.
Sometimes you got to just see the forest for the trees. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes
what's right in front of you is what's right in front of you.
Speaking of things that make you go, Here's something right here. Let's check it out real quick.
Yeah.
Now we're being followed by the Somalis. This is another daycare center. Absolutely no signage, and there's no footprints in the snow of children playing outside. $5 million within the past
5.9 million in 2 years. 5.9 million they received in 2 years. That facility right there.
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now.
From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Leering Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
So this is Quality Leering Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up!
said they spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million
Don't
over
open
the
up! It's ice!
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in
Go
favor?
away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know
You're
what it-
not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you!
Are you in favor of $1.9
Shame
million
on you. It's
going
ice.
illegally,
Don't open up!
fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up!
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are. You don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up! It's ice!
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children in here at this building, but there's no one here. This is a child daycare
Minnesota
center.
says 99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States. Get rid of all the fraud. Now we're being followed by the Somalis. This is another day.
You gotta love that kid. That kid is
How is it that a
great.
23-year-old kid figured this out and nobody else has? I don't understand. Well, how did he get onto that?
Well, I mean, I think he's been doing some investigative reporting, and he hooked up with that old guy that's in the video with him. Is actually the guy that had all of the evidence of it, and I want to say he reached out to Nick Shirley actually because of and told him that he had it. Somehow one of them found the other one first, and they got together because he had the proof of where to go, you know, who was actually getting what. And you know, man, people should be irate. That woman's out there. She's more, you know, once again, white liberal female. She's more the awfuls, if you will, the affluent white, you know, liberal female.
And how did she know they was there? That's what I'm wondering. Well, how did she know? How did she know those guys were out there?
There's a good chance she didn't. There's a good chance she was just walking by, and once she saw them with a microphone, that she just took it upon herself to go be a hero. You know, that's one of the things that's happening.
At the beginning of the clip, he said Somalians were following from another daycare center. Maybe they called her as one of their antagonists, like the Renee Goods of the world. They call these people their own call, like soldiers almost, like hit me, hit me. They probably called her. They probably couldn't find enough people to come out. They found one jackass like her, and they said, "Hey, look, this shit's going down over here. We need you to come out here and cause a scene, and you know, sort of try to thwart these guys. And we'll give you your stipend of $300 or $400, whatever it is they pay them to do that shit."
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
I bet she was paid to come out there by them Somalians that were following them.
Man, I wouldn't put anything past.
That's some scary shit, man. If Somalians following me around, I'll be honest with you, I might just said, I ain't doing this no more.
You'd be wise, you know. I think Nick has gotten pretty lucky at this point that he hadn't at least at a minimum gotten his ass whipped. He's been followed a couple of times.
He's had death threats.
Yeah.
They've actually some big time people, I think podcasters, maybe even Joe Rogan and some other people have actually anteed up and provided him with security. Because they'll cap his ass. I mean, Charlie Kirk supposedly had security, and he got capped. So, Nick Shirley could get shot.
Oh, yeah. Well, man, at the end of the day, Lance Flores says sellout, shaking his head.
Who's a sellout? The old woman? That's so annoying. Don't open the door. It's ours. Don't come out. She wouldn't shut the hell up, man.
Yeah, that's got to be the sellout that
she wasn't even listening. That's the problem. See, these dumbasses don't realize we don't hate you because you have a difference of opinion. We hate you because you don't even listen. He's telling you we're not ICE, you idiot. Do I look like ICE?
I was just about to say, does he look like ICE? Yeah, she's absolutely, she's nuts. Lance hit the nail on the head. But again, I don't even think like they just, it's all of it's just virtue signaling, man. That's all it is from all of them. Like that woman going, don't come out, it's ICE, we have ICE. She's just virtue signaling. She just wants everyone out there to realize how good of a person she is.
Does it not make you a little angry inside?
Yes.
When she's screeching like that, it really does. I don't condone hitting women, but at that point, she's not even like a woman to me. She's just like a person that's just trash, man. I'd be tempted to slap her, man. I'd probably just slap that damn phone out of her. I'd probably go to jail, man.
I wouldn't touch her unless she touched me, and whatever she did to me, I would do back to her. So if she just pushed me, I would push her back. But if she had the audacity to hit me, I would lay her out. I wouldn't think twice about it.
Because at that point, you're not a woman. You're just a person that's trying to hurt me.
Well, you're just assaulting me. I mean, you're just assaulting me. I mean, again, I'm not looking. Nobody condones hitting women. You shouldn't, at least. But that also doesn't give women the license to just go berserk on you with no retaliation. Have you seen
that clip where there was a guy with an American flag and they had this, like, I guess it's an air horn of some sort with a siren in it, and they was putting it in his ear because he was waving the American flag. You seen that clip?
Well, say that again.
There's a clip of this guy that was out protesting against the protesters, the whole ICE shit, I guess. And he had his American flag, and one of the liberals come up with a megaphone of some sort that had a siren and was blaring it in his ear.
Yeah, I saw
right up to his ear. And people's like, well, he's not touching him, so you can't hit him. If you fuck my eardrum up with that noise, that's just like assaulting me. If he's done that shit, if he stuck that shit up to my ear, I would have snatched it from him.
Yeah. Well, you saw what he did to him, right?
Yeah, he got him in the end. In the end, he threw his shit down, was coming over bowing up, and he hit him and knocked him out in one punch, man.
Yeah, knocked him out. Took him out the first time. Then the dumbass got up and came after him a second time. And the second time, he laid him out more cold than the first time.
Did you see how limp his body went when he hit him?
He was the second time. He literally, as soon as he hit him, he literally just and went down. Well, we went backwards and hit. The only thing that he's lucky is he fell in grass, because he went straight back, would have cracked his head wide open on the concrete. All right, some of y'all in the chat room, we're back up to 13 in the chat. Somebody in the chat, come call into the show. Give us your thoughts on. Let's talk about the fraud in Minneapolis. Like, what are we gonna do? But again, this gets into a broader issue of mass migration. Are we all in agreement that the border should be closed? I mean, does anyone else have a problem with the fact that Native Americans are becoming a thing of the past? And my family is a family of immigrants. I've got no problem saying it. But I mean, man,
Everybody's
at a
busy.
certain point, we've got to have some kind of limitation on it to some degree. We can't just keep it wide open all the time.
The people that say it should be wide open and everybody come over here, the borders were wide open back in the 1700s and 1800s, don't realize that it's just like this, man. At a certain point, it gets overcrowded in there, and everybody can't live in the same country, right? And it's just like the analogy I always use, man. If you got a 2-bedroom house and you allow a few homeless people to come live with you, are you going to keep allowing homeless people to come in there and live with your family and put your family at risk at that point? You got a 2-bedroom house, you let 2 homeless people come live with you and they're sleeping on your sofa and on your floor. You going to let 12 more come in?
No.
To your house? Just because you let those 2 in? It's like you said, I mean, you just got to do it in increments. You can't just allow everybody in.
No. And if you go look at history of this country, going back to, you know, the 18th and 19th centuries, the large scale migration to this country took place in waves. It was not just wide open all the time. And it makes sense because, you know, you it's just like, you know, again, man, you can't grow just like in business. Uncontrolled growth. It seems contradictory, but it's a problem. You cannot have uncontrolled growth because you outgrow your resources, you outgrow your, you know, your infrastructure, you outgrow all of it too fast.
Yeah.
And you need time for the people coming in to assimilate, which is what they should be doing.
Right. Exactly. You can't just keep, it's just like here in my town, Tuscaloosa, we went from 15,000 enrollment to 45,000 after Nick Saban got here. And we just haven't had time to catch up with the infrastructure and roads and stuff. We're not made. There's many people being here, man.
Yeah.
And that's just an example of what can happen if you let too many people come in at one time without really thinking it through, so to speak. But shift gears just a little bit because me and you talked about this earlier, and I seem to get a rise out of you. What do you think about Trump taking over Venezuela, basically? I mean, they say we didn't go down and take it over, but, man, you went down there and took their president out and you got him up here with his wife. He even took his wife and locked him up here. It's like Trump's just taking over everything. And then they tried to explain to me on Glenn Beck's show. They said, you know, people say it's just about the oil are sort of right, but not really. It's about the oil, but we don't need their oil. We just need to keep their oil from going to other people like the Chinese and the Russians and whatnot, and keep China from having the energy sources to invade Taiwan, yada, 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 and to maybe make Cuba's communist government fall, that kind of deal. What's your take on all that?
We had to do it. I mean, listen, man, you know, first of all, there's a couple of things. First of all, the citizens of Venezuela are celebrating in the streets. So clearly that seems to be very popular, what we did down there with a lot of people. And it makes sense because those same people tried to vote Maduro out, I believe, multiple times. And he wouldn't leave. That's what he, you know, being a dictator actually really is. So, you know, and then when you add on top of that, Maduro personally calling Trump out, calling him a coward, telling him to come on.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Maduro should have been head coach because that speech he was giving, I believed it. If I'm a Venezuelan, I'm like, damn, this dude's fired up. He ain't taking shit from Trump until he did.
I was just about to say, the problem is Trump wasn't bluffing.
It's just like my Alabama fan base was talking shit to Indiana, and then they bitch slapped us.
Yeah.
You know, we're great. We're gonna dominate Indiana, and then you didn't.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah. Well, the good thing for Alabama is that they embarrassed Oregon way worse So
They actually beat them by less. They only beat Oregon by 34. They beat us by 35.
yeah, but it seemed, I don't know, man. To me, it seemed worse with Oregon. I
Well,
don't
the
know.
thing is, Oregon was hanging in the first half stat wise. They were just fumbling the freaking ball.
Well,
Indiana's been doing that all year, getting lucky in the first half, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And just getting up on people. I hope they lose that game to Miami, by the way. I know a lot of people rooting for Indiana, but there's just something weird about Indiana. I just can't stomach.
Let me tell you something. As a diehard Sooner fan, and other Sooner fans will know what I'm talking about. I hate Miami. I mean, hate Miami.
Well, I don't like them either.
But my point is, but in this one, there is no question about it. I am all about the Hurricanes against Indiana. And I just pray to God that physical line of scrimmage that the media loves to talk about with Miami and Cristobal. I just pray to God that they do what they say they're gonna, that everyone talks about them doing, and then beats Indiana up. But let's talk about the Indiana cheating allegations.
I don't know nothing about that, but
dude, you haven't heard about this?
To sort of go back to what we was talking about, and then we'll get back to Indiana in just a second, because I want to finish that up about the Venezuela shit. Lori sort of segues into this, because I was going to get to that too. And she said Trump is going to take over Greenland, because he said if he doesn't, China will get it. And he said it's not going to happen. Well, I mean, I understand him saying that in a way about China and Russia, but here's the thing, Lori, and I'm not defending liberals, or I'm not against Trump. I'm just saying I'm not really buying into that, because if the Russians and the Chinese were to threaten doing that, all they got to do is just go over and defend Greenland instead of just taking it away from Denmark. I mean, it seems a little bit like a dictatorship and a bullying kind of thing from the United States. It just makes us look like we're no better than the Russians or the Chinese at that point. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, Killer.
I don't disagree. I mean, it's I'm not real thrilled with all the regime change and all of the empire business, Then again, being a superpower, sometimes you do have to exercise that authority and remind the world, remind the world where you sit. It's a deterrent, that's, you got to do it.
Well, if you're going to help defend somebody, it's one thing. Like in World War II, we went over to defend Europe, but we didn't occupy Europe afterwards. We're going to just go over and take the shit. That's what he said. He's like, you'll either sell it to us or we'll take it. That sounds like a bully. It sounds like a bully to me.
It does, and I don't like it. It does. But, I mean, man, I got to tell you, I mean, I at this point, the man gives just no reason to doubt him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He may very well, we might wake up tomorrow and hear about how we own Greenland now. I mean, that could very well happen. I hope it doesn't. But at the end of the day, I'm not about China being in the empire business either, dude. And if it means we got to stop China, and that's what we got to do to do that.
It's like catch-22, man.
Yeah.
But let's segue back to what y'all were talking about. Because I said, we'll talk about anything. I mean, it ain't got to just be politics. It ain't got to just be sports. We can do everything. Y'all brought up something that I thought she was just talking shit when Lori said that Indiana had been accused of cheating. I thought that was just some smack talk. Is that really a thing?
That's real. There have been a couple of national writers. I mean, because one of the things that and you really, dude, you got to think about this. First of all, just the roster that they have. And they're not just beating people. They're throttling people with rosters that traditionally in football, football's about bigger, better, stronger, faster. Like the big guy normally wins. And that's not what's going on with Indiana. But what really adds to the mystery behind it is that Cignetti is on record saying multiple times how his team only works, they don't practice, like he believes in keeping them fresh. So I want to say there was something of like 2 hours of fucking practice a week. It's like but the point is they don't ever practice, and I'm supposed to believe this team largely of 3 stars and even some no star talent is just manhandling these kids that are. I mean, I understand not all stars are indicative. I get that, but largely these are very talented kids that are getting manhandled by kids that are not even close to them.
So how is it cheating though?
Well, some people are saying that he's hacking into the cloud and he's getting I don't know how he's cheating. I really don't know. But it does make sense to me that I mean, again, and I'm not saying he's cheating. I'm not going to go that far. I'm just saying it is very odd that he is finding a way to throttle all these teams that supposedly have superior talent, and he's doing it without even really practicing.
Some people thought it was because the players are a lot older than everybody else's players. Some of them's 25 years old or some shit.
Well, let
me address this. I'll let you.
I was about to respond to it.
But not a good spot to discuss politics. Not all. No one in here is that intelligent. We discussed what you're saying right now at the beginning of the show. I explained what was going on. Michael, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm not trying to piss you off. And I'm not trying to make you unsubscribe. But I'll let you give your take on it, Killer.
Well, no, I was just going to say, sadly, Michael, no one in our government is apparently all that intelligent either. I'm not sure that you're correct, that we're not intelligent enough to discuss the topic. I mean, I think that's part of the problem. We don't have to talk about politics. I don't give a we don't give a shit about it. We don't care.
But here's the thing: I didn't mislead y'all to come in here and think this was a sports topic. I made the topic pretty explicit. Minnesota Ice shooting justified. Call in America first. It's obvious that this wasn't going to be sports inclined. Now, we are talking sports now, but that's because we have run out of things to say about it. Like I said, I hope you don't unsubscribe to the channel, but I'd said during the off season that we were going to start talking about other things other than sports, sort of like Clay Travis does. Clay Travis talks about sports and politics. And during the off season, there's nothing to talk about in college football except for recruiting and the transfer portal and people making supposed commitments that aren't commitments because they're not committed because they're all weak, man. All these players nowadays are weak sauce, man. They have no commitment.
Hey, well, and Michael's clearly not a Mateer fan because he's saying OU needs a QB. But Thunder follows up saying Trump's going to take over Greenland, Canada, Cuba, Mexico, Colombia, and Iran.
Yeah. Well, you see what that does, though, is it makes – and Thunder, you're going to trigger some people saying that. I'm going to go ahead and let you know. When they see us play back, and they watch it, they're going to be mad at you for saying that. But people like Robert De Niro, for example, are just screeching. He's going to try to be a king. He's going to be a dictator. And I thought it was just blowing steam out of his ass, man. But obviously, Robert might have been onto something because he is trying to take over the world.
It certainly looks like he's not effing around. That's my point. Like at this juncture, I'm not going to be the one to doubt the man. If he says he's going to do something, then I still think it's probably just posturing. I think that's probably what he's doing. But at the end of the day, he did go scoop Maduro out of his house.
Yeah, the Colombian people said that they come in there and they didn't even know they were there. That the technology of the Americans now is otherworldly.
Did you hear, by the way, that when there was a I saw YouTube. I saw there's a guy on YouTube. They spoke to one of the Venezuelan security guards that was guarding Maduro, and they asked him about the attack, and he said that they never heard or saw anything coming, that all of a sudden all of their radar equipment stopped working, and that they got hit with some kind of a sonic weapon, and that instantaneously all of them started bleeding from the nose and vomiting, and some of them were vomiting up blood.
You know what that is, don't you?
And before they knew it, it was
you know what that is? You know what that is, don't you? The United States government has made some kind of deal with the aliens out there. Because they got otherworldly shit now, man. They're making folks bleed from the nose without doing anything to them. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
Now, Daniel Looney makes a comment that I don't necessarily agree with. He says the Midwest has more money than the South. Paying people to play is legal now. Well, guess who has the money? I don't necessarily agree with that because Indiana doesn't really have all that much money. Indiana went out and got a bunch of 0 stars from James Madison that were starting against Alabama. They had 4 0 stars. I think it boils down to the fact that you get these 4 and 5 star players in here and you're going ahead and giving them that money, and they just get lazy and they don't play anymore because they already got the money. These 0 stars and 2 stars for Indiana don't have that money. They come in hungry and they have to earn that money. That's the problem, is these 4 and 5 stars that you're getting, they feel like they already got their money. They can just lay down. That's what I think's going on.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what the man's got. Unless they are able to analyze talent better than everybody else, what they're doing shouldn't really be possible. But it is. It's happening. And I don't believe that Cignetti has somehow found a way to hack into the cloud and get the game plan of all the teams. I don't believe that for a second.
Before Michael Hapgood goes, because I already said my piece on it, he says, "Adios, cowboy." I don't know if that means he's mad and he's not going to watch the channel anymore because we're talking politics.
No, I think he's just leaving tonight.
Because I know, because he says right here, there are 900 places to talk politics. You want to get devoured in those.
Yeah, I think he just means he's
see that
leaving.
comment right there?
Yeah.
There's not 900 places to talk politics. It doesn't seem like he's too happy with us. Now, Michael's been on this channel for a while. And like I said, I'm not trying to insult anybody or make anybody mad, but
no, I think he's just leaving tonight.
It doesn't hurt for us to talk about politics during the off season when there's nothing else to talk about. Yeah, I like college basketball, but I'm not as educated about college basketball as I am college football. I could talk NFL playoffs.
Early in the season. I mean, it's early in the season. I think Mike's just leaving tonight. That's all. That's all.
I don't know. It sort of feels a little. I don't know, a little cryptic.
Nah, I think he's just plans on. I think he'll be back. I don't doubt that for a second.
I hope.
By the way, what do you think about? While we're talking about sports, what do you think about Lane Kiffin and his drama and going up there and first of all about to have Sam Levitt signed? Then the kid from Washington is going to enter the portal, so he tells Levitt to get on his way. Levitt looks like he's going to Tennessee. Then the kid from Washington is getting so much flack, and Washington's talking about how they're going to sue the shit out of him if he doesn't honor his contract. So he stays in Washington, and then Lane flies up to Tennessee and somehow, we know how, gets Sam Levitt to sign with LSU. You gotta give it to Lane, boy. He's doing a good job, man, of pissing people off, man.
It sounds like Lane continues to stick it to Tennessee. And he likes sticking it to Tennessee.
Yeah.
He's been sticking it to Tennessee for quite some time. It makes it hard for me not to like him. Because I hate Tennessee.
Well, he's doing a good job of pissing a lot of people off, man. He really is. He better hope his plan works.
I just wish
doing good.
I don't know if he could have handled it any better. Maybe a scenario you can lay it out for us. But it's got to have been a better way he could have handled his departure from Ole Miss, man. I think it's because he just let them on and wouldn't give nobody an answer. If he just got someone an answer in the middle of the year, it might have been different. I don't know what could have made it different. I mean, Ole Miss was going to be pissed off regardless.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, sometimes you got to think, yeah, Lane's he's a bit of an asshole sometimes, but I don't see y'all getting mad at other people for leaving their jobs and going to another school. I'm just saying. I don't know that. What is it about the Lane situation that makes people dislike him more than the other guys?
He's just because he's at the end of the day, he acts like a weasel. I mean, that's the problem. Like, it's he's clearly a good coach. Nobody questions that. But man, he acts like a weasel, dude. Like, the stuff that he does is so just, it ain't cool. It's not cool. So, and it doesn't surprise me at this point. I don't, I fell for the whole Lane 2.0. He's a changed man thing. I fell for it. I was right there with him. I thought, man, this guy appreciates the chance he's gotten from Ole Miss. He realizes, he finally understands where he can build a legacy, and but none of it was real. It was all just him, conning everybody to get to the next spot.
Denizen has his badge. He's deputized. By the way, if y'all want a badge and get deputized like Denizen, you can join the Outlaw Posse. It's a little join button by the subscribe button. It's $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week, just a half a bottle of water for the Outlaw. And you get your badge, get deputized, get random 4 Horsemen Shout Out podcast. Denizen says, why do you always do these when I'm not available? It must be some kind of conspiracy. Well, it looks like you're available now, man. Come on in here.
Yeah,
you want
man.
me to put the link back in there? You want to come up in here? All you got to do is do audio. You ain't got to put your face on there. Just do audio.
You should join us.
There you go right there, Denizen. Call into the show. Give us your opinion on anything. Like we said, we don't have to stick to politics. If Michael Hapgood wanted to change the subject and talk about football, we did that. We talked about the fact that Mateer, in my opinion, is the best option for Oklahoma going forward. He didn't really have a chance to get healed up. I think people are being a little unfair to Mateer. I think next year we'll see how good he really is, unless he gets injured again. But I think a whole offseason of getting healed up for Mateer will go do wonders. But
I would agree. Donnie says Kiffin is like the ESPN of coaches. It's so damn hard to like him. I agree. I mean, again, nobody questions he's a good coach, but also at the same time, he hasn't proven that he's a champion coach either. He's a champion assistant. He's a championship coordinator.
What's today? Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday.
Look at this. You at the bar on a Tuesday night? Denizen. What the hell, man? Everybody going bong.
LIVIN.
We don't care if you at the bar, man. I go live at the bar all the time, man. Go ahead and pop on here. You might be able to let us hear some good music, too, in the background.
Yeah, he needs to call in from the bar. Give us a scouting report.
We'll take a shot for us.
How do you get no work tomorrow?
No work tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well, if you ain't got to work, man, just come on up in here. Go outside real quick. You got some kind of hottie hanging on you over there?
I was just about to say, take your woman outside, get on the video. We'll let you video tonight.
Yeah, we'll let you do video if you got a hot chick with you. Other than that, we don't want to see your ugly face.
Thundernose.
I'm just playing, Denizen. You ain't ugly.
Thundernose.
I heard Steve Lee's was ugly. That's what Lori told me.
Steve Lee's
I heard she was flirting with the Skittle shitting men these days.
Steve Lee's is a narc.
I did forget to say hi to Lori earlier, and I was going to, and I just forgot. Hi, Lori. Me and Killer Breeze want you to work on not going to Starbucks at halftime next year. That's your New Year's resolution for Lori is don't go to Starbucks during the football game.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just don't.
Lori doesn't play around.
Unless, hold up, I'm being a hypocrite here. Unless your team's down 24-0 to Indiana, then you can go to Starbucks.
There you go. There you go.
Oklahoma was down by 7, and she went to the Starbucks.
Dennison, what kind of work do you do, man? You got no work tomorrow. What kind of work is no work tomorrow? You're not working doing what?
Yeah, he probably is picking up some chicks at the bar. Me and Killer were going to try to cop block him real quick. Put him on there.
I hope he is. Lori says she hasn't been to a Starbucks in 3 days. That's financially that's a good thing.
I saw JD Vance earlier in that video, man. This JD Vance speaking, does he just not make you feel good? It just makes me feel all good inside when he starts talking, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's got to be conned, but that dude, man, to me, I don't know if he's putting on a facade or what, but he seems like he's that dude, man.
He is that guy. He is good. He's really good, man. He's I think he's Trump without the pettiness, you know? Well, he doesn't have necessarily the total charisma of Trump. Trump's in a class of his own with regards to that.
He's better at, the word magic without getting himself in trouble.
He's great. He's a great speaker. I mean, he really is. He's a great speaker. I mean, so, and I think he's the odds-on favorite to win in 2028. I right now, that's who I would vote for.
Now, if y'all want to make a donation to the show, we got monetization back. The money $sign at the bottom down there, whether it's in a square or a circle, click on that. And after you click on it, write your comment out, then hit click a second time so you get your money's worth, and it'll push you to the top and give you some kind of color or whatever color you get for your donation. That way we can hopefully buy Killer a new RV because Burnt Toast seems to have an issue with it.
Yeah. Thanks, Toast bought it.
Surprise, he's a Texas long turd.
Yeah, surprise.
Speaking of Texas, I ain't gonna lie, Texas has been making Alabama their bitch. They took all of our shit.
Yeah, dude. I looked up and Texas all of a sudden goes from relatively nowhere in the portal to number 1.
Yeah, it took Cam Coleman from Auburn. And we thought we was going to get him. Wrong answer. I didn't think I was going to get him anyway. But we had Hollywood Smothers committed to us, and then he uncommitted within 2 days. And that's what I was saying, man, y'all quit using the word committed in recruiting circles because there's no such thing as committed anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pissed at Smothers. I thought Smothers left OU because he wanted to be closer to home because he was getting carries as a true freshman. Not a ton, but he got some. And then he left, and he's from North Carolina, so supposedly he was going back home to go play at NC State, but he stayed there for I think just 1 year.
Lori gonna make Robert De Niro lose his damn bowels. If Robert De Niro sees this shit, he's gonna be really mad. She says there's hats out there that says Trump 2028. I guess Vance could be the president and Trump be the VP. That's true. That's what it could happen. But they say he's trying to pass something where they're allowed to do 3 terms, which would fall into what Robert De Niro was saying. He don't want to leave office. He's not going to.
Yeah, I hope he does.
Ronald Reagan tried to pass something like that. Ronald Reagan tried to make it where it's 3 terms. And I don't have a problem with them having 3 terms. There should be term limitations. But if you got term limitations, what is it on Congress? They don't have no term limits, or is it Senate?
But we need term limits, though. Term limits are a good thing.
That's what I'm saying. They got term limits on the president, but they don't have term limits on what is it, the Senate or the Congress or both.
Both.
See, that don't make no sense.
Yeah, I agree.
You're gonna limit the highest position, but you're not gonna limit the ones underneath him that make it all go.
It's because back in the day, I think Congress, and you can make this argument now that Congress was more. That was the where the real power was, you know, and so they weren't going to put limits on themselves. They were just going to limit that president who was mainly, largely a figurehead back in the day. You know what I mean?
It's hard to get. It's sort of hard to get everything done in 8 years, in my opinion. I mean, they need 3 terms, and Trump has his split up, so he could be like, "Look, y'all screwed me out of my second term back to back, so I deserve at least one more."
I mean, I personally wouldn't be upset about it, but
he's getting a little too old, though, right? And he's in his 80s. Is he 80 yet?
I think he'll be 80 next year. I think he's 79 this year. I think he was 78 when he got elected, I think. Or maybe he was, I think he was 78. Or maybe, I don't know, man. FDR did have 4 terms. However, FDR was a wartime president, and
FDR is why they put that rule in place.
Yeah, well,
FDR is like Nick Saban.
I think the rule was in place before that, but he was president during the Depression, and then the war started, so they kept him in supposedly because of the war. But it's to Thunder's point, it's not unprecedented. It has happened before.
Yeah,
and if anyone's gonna do it, it would probably be him. And again, personally, it's not the end of the world for me, because I don't think he's the devil like half the country.
Well, if he gets lawfully elected, that's another thing I had a problem with, man. Like, you saying the Venezuelan president wasn't lawfully elected, and that's why you're going down there and removing him. Well, Joe Biden wasn't really lawfully elected, so why didn't you perform some kind of coup on his ass to keep him from getting in office with all them fake ass votes?
If only we would have been so lucky. If only it would have been so lucky.
It probably worked out the way it needed to. So Trump gets in now when all this shit's going on.
Yeah. Well,
whether he's the cause of the shit going on, that's another thing.
Lori said Trump will be 80 in June. So a little bit earlier than I thought. So he's already 79.
But are we going to go around removing every country's government just because we don't like the way the election turned out, or because it's not legitimate? I mean, you're going to be able to actually police the whole world on that? Because I'm sure it goes on in other countries too, especially them countries in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Are you going to go to Rwanda and make sure they're doing their shit right? It's because of that oil, man. It's because Venezuela has so much minerals too. They got a lot of different minerals like lithium and all sorts of shit in the mountains.
Well, keeping that out of the hands of Russia or China, again, I'm not really opposed to that. I'm not really opposed to that, but I do think it's a fair point to say that we got plenty of problems here, and if we're going to be spending boatloads of money outside of the country, I just as soon spend it inside the country and give people free health care.
Yeah, you're talking about the fraud for daycare. What about the fraud for health care? That's the damn fraud that's been performed for a long time.
Yeah, even worse. Even worse.
People that actually work and try to make a living and make over $40,000 a year, man, we're punished.
Yeah.
You got people that make under $10,000 a year, they get free health care.
Yeah.
They're sitting on their ass.
Yep.
The people in between, man, we're getting screwed.
We're getting
my insurance went up from $95 a month to $307 a month.
Well, mine is $700 a month.
See?
It's ridiculous, man.
That's just one person.
Yeah.
This is insurance for me and my wife.
Yeah.
But to go from 95 to 300, man, that's That's ridiculous. I can understand you going up a little bit, but that's more than 100% increase.
Yeah.
Right? That's almost 200% increase.
Well, it just makes me so angry, man. The fact that I shell out $700 a month for anything, you know, like if I'm spending $700 a month, I would like it to be on a ridiculously expensive car or something.
Yeah,
you know?
if you don't get sick, they should give you some kind of rewards or something.
You would
Man. They should give you some kind of rebate.
You would think, but God knows that ain't gonna happen.
And if they're not going to give you a rebate, they should let you do stuff that falls outside their realm. Like, I don't know, if you want to have plastic surgery or something, maybe you want a penile enlargement, let you do that, man. You can have a penile enlargement.
Yeah, Biden's presidency would probably pay for that.
See, we talk about everything. Talk about everything from Venezuela to penile enlargements. To John Mateer and his hot ass girlfriend. Golly.
She is smoking hot.
Woo! Yeah, man, it makes me just want to lick the walls or something, man.
She is special, man. She is absolutely special. There's no question about that.
Someone said that Lori was Mateer's side piece.
God damn. Oklahoma's cornerback Gentry Williams commits to Georgia. That just pisses me off.
That was a commitment. They're committed.
Yeah. Oh man, that drives me nuts, dude.
About as committed as a Hollywood marriage. Everybody's committed as Hollywood marriages, man. They get married to 25 different people before they die. If they're not married, they're out there ding-donging everybody. Goddamn P. Diddy having all them parties and basically implicating everybody. Can't put everybody in jail, I guess, man. It's like, is anybody going to go to jail for that Somalian shit, by the way? Because I don't hear of anything going on. I heard the federal government's investigating that shit now.
Say that again. I'm sorry. I was looking at breaking news on that Gentry Williams player. Say that
anybody
again.
Is anybody? It's like what I was saying was it's just like the P. Diddy thing and the Somalian scandal thing and all this other political scandalous shit that's going on. You just never see anybody really go to jail for the shit, man.
No, that's right.
I don't understand that shit. How's that happen?
I don't know. You know, I think there's a different set of rules for the you know, the elites, the wealthy elite, and somehow they.
Is that a good thing or bad thing? I don't keep up with stocks and how silver and gold moves. Is $90.38 an ounce. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? On silver. I got Webull, and Jonathan knows a little bit about that stuff, and he's gonna help me invest in some stocks to get me some. So I got to get me a 401k or something, man. You got any advice on that?
I'm in the same boat. I need to do the same thing. Actually, you and I can talk offline about that.
We're gonna get our own Somalian scandal.
Yeah,
we're gonna have an outlaw scandal.
That's
Michael Hapgood's gonna report us. Y'all said this was a sports channel, but y'all talking about politics. It says I'm the outlaw of college football, but that just means that's the main thing I like to talk about. That's all it means.
Denizen is right. Biden put a bounty out on Maduro. That is correct.
Well, I guess all Biden ain't all bad then, is he?
Yeah, he had every once in a while he got something right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody's going to be correct sometimes. That's why you can't be like, oh, if they're a Democrat and they said this, it's got to be wrong. No, that's not actually true. Y'all get hung up on labels, man. It's just that the Democrats make it easier to vote Republican right now because they're doing a bunch of stupid shit. Because I used to be a registered Democrat. It always used to be dumb like this.
Yeah.
They used to agree with dumb shit. Well, If a man wants to go in there and beat on a woman in sports, then by God, let him go in there and beat that woman up.
By the way, is Ty Simpson coming back to Alabama?
Nope.
Where's he going?
NFL. He declared.
Did he really?
He got a first round grade from everybody. So he said, hasta la vista. He's going to be the third quarterback taken in the draft. Rumor has him maybe going to the Jets, maybe somebody like that. I can't remember who it was. They said Fernando Mendoza and what's the other guy's name? The Dante Moore.
Yeah.
Those two are going to go in the first 4 or 5 picks, and then in the middle of the draft somewhere, first round is when Ty Simpson will go to somebody.
So is that, what is it, Keelan Russell? Is that the guy for Alabama?
It's either going to be Keelan Russell or Austin Mack. A lot of people thought that Austin Mack would transfer out, but he didn't. We signed both of them. So we got plenty of quarterbacks. We just ain't got no freaking running backs or offensive linemen. You know, let's just sign a bunch of GD quarterbacks, and let's not worry about the offensive line that didn't block worth of shit, and that's why we didn't have no running game. Yeah. I know Oklahoma fans feel me on that shit because, ironically, both Crimson Nations, who are known for running the ball and just smash mouth slapping somebody's mouth, we don't do that anymore.
You noticed that too, huh? Yeah.
It's stupid, man. I can understand wanting to mix it up and be 50-50. That's fine, man. But if you only gaining 2 yards a carry, man, that's unacceptable on any level. Any level. I don't think we could run the ball against Northeast Oklahoma A&M. I'll be honest with you.
Us either. Oklahoma couldn't either. No chance. I mean, that's the thing. They can't.
Even your Tokyo Tech crab cakes could stop Alabama.
That's right. That's why, I mean, man, that's why it doesn't make any sense that if Indiana can do what they're doing, there's no excuse for Oklahoma and Alabama to not be able to run the ball at all. No excuse.
Lori brings up an interesting thing. I'm surprised. Oh, Lori, she's actually, I ain't going to say it. Lori said, you do know you can buy coins at the bank and hunt for silver if you have a $50. That silver's worth $35 right now. I didn't know nothing about that, but I do have a lot of silver over here. I got a bunch of coins I've just been throwing in a big old plastic tub. We throw quarters, nickels, dimes, everything in there. Heard they quit making pennies. Is that true?
That's true. It's about time. They need to do away with, I think they should do away with change in general. What's the point?
Do away with what?
Change.
Oh.
Just make it $1.
Yeah. Or make 25 cents $1. Make it a 25-cent piece of paper. Right? Might be cheaper to make. But like she's saying, if you keep these coins now, hold on to them. They might be worth some money.
Wow, absolutely.
I used to collect old coins when I was a kid growing up, and I got away from it. I got some old-ass coins in my Stone Cold Steve Austin can of whoop-ass jar. I'll have to show it to you. I got this metal jar that says can of whoop-ass on it, and it was during the Stone Cold era. I bought one of his shirts, and they would send his Austin 316 shirts in a metal can that said can of whoop-ass on it.
Nice. Nice.
We're passing gas. So we're talking about everything. I just farted, just so y'all know. I like to TMI people every now and then.
That's all right. That's all right.
Kiddo got me hungry before the show. He's talking about eating. I said, man, I'm going to go get me a burrito.
I know. I'm kind of hungry right now myself.
I ain't having one of those in a while because I'm not supposed to eat those burritos, those frozen burritos, the El Choritos, or whatever they're called. El Toro, what the fuck ever they're called. But them things are awesome.
They're good.
Now cook in the microwave, throw some Texas Pete on it.
Yep, they're good, man.
I started putting some cheese on it. I said, man, I'm already eating bad. Leave the cheese alone.
I put the cheese on it. For sure. You got to add the cheese.
I can tell you one thing that's got me a little less stressed this year going into the football season already. You know what that is?
What's that?
You want to guess or no? You probably ain't gonna be able to guess.
Just tell me.
I actually told you before. We ain't got to play Oklahoma this year.
Oh.
So I ain't gonna have to worry about having friction between me and my two Crimson Nations.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's never a good thing, man. It doesn't. Nobody wants to deal with that. That doesn't help anything. By the way, did you see this? This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Ron DeSantis,
Ron the dumbass,
went and signed bills that that made law in Florida, but it was anti-hate speech against Jews. So they made hate speech illegal in Florida against Jews, which is a total progressive liberal thing to do. But not only that, he went and signed the bills into law in Israel. That's the kind of thing that I don't understand when it comes to our allegiance to Israel. Why in the hell?
That shit right there get you killed, man. You better be careful.
Why are you making a governor of Florida go to Israel and bow down and sign anti-Semitic hate law into bills into law in Israel? Like, like we just had this again, man. I don't mind helping nations that need to be helped, but this whole Israel over America first thing.
Yeah, I don't get that either. See, what happens though is it's sort of like a damned if you do and damned if you don't, man. If you say, hey man, why are we helping Israel all the time? People accuse you of being a libtard. And if you say, hey, let's help Israel, they accuse you of being MAGA. Why can't you just say, hey, we can help Israel do this, but we shouldn't have to go overboard and help them with every single thing, man. Yeah. You know, I don't get it either, man. I'm like, the Jews, didn't they persecute Jesus? Ain't they the ones that sold Jesus out or some shit, man? I mean, I'm struggling here for a second on my religious education. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, the Jews are no better than anybody else. People saying, "Oh, picking on the poor old Jews, man." Just because the Nazis picked on the Jews, don't mean we owe them. It's just like people that don't want you making off-color jokes, man. They want to make off-color jokes about you, but they don't want you doing it back to
them. Dennison says, okay, go back to sports.
What you got for us, Dennison? That's why we want you to call in, man. Change the subject, brother. Here, check this out. I'll throw it in there again.
Well, Dennison, hold on. Dennison says he's half Jewish. I want to be very clear. I don't have any problem with Jews. I have zero problem with Jewish people, man. I like to eat. No, don't have any issue with that. I'm just saying the whole America. I guess I'm an America first person.
You shouldn't be censored on what you say just because someone's a certain religion.
I don't think any country should be placed ahead of American citizens. You know, that's all I'm saying. Is the money best spent elsewhere? Is the question I'm asking, and I don't even I'm not even claiming to have the answer.
Dude, you have communities in the state of Kentucky and West Virginia that look like third world countries, and you worried about Israel? You know. I'm just saying this. Let's not be hypocritical about it.
He's not. I don't think he is. I don't think Dennison's. I don't think that's how he means it. I
know we don't. I'm just expounding on what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. I just want to make sure he understands that we don't. You and I.
We need to help Israel when we really need to help them, not just help them every single time or send them billions of dollars for whatever reason. And that's just like Somalia, man. Why are we sending billions of dollars to Somalia in suitcases like you was talking about?
Yeah. I mean, but again, my grandfather freed Jews from the concentration camps in World War II. I mean, that's what he was. He got Bronze Stars for doing it. So
What's your response to this?
I'm not one of these fools that denies the Holocaust or anything like that. That's ridiculous.
What's your response to this?
It happened. It was horrendous.
What's your response to this comment by Lord? Killer, I say America needs to be first, but the Bible says we can't turn on Israel. The Bible's talking about a country that existed about 4,000 years ago. He's not talking about Benjamin, whatever his name is, Netanyahu, whatever. How you say his last name?
Say that again.
Benjamin, what's his last name?
Netanyahu.
Netanyahu. The Bible and God's talking about the country of Israel 4,000 years ago, not the one that you see today. They're only Israel by name. And it's just like someone if someone called me a black guy. Just because someone called me a black guy don't mean I'm black. You know, I'm just saying I don't think it's the same Israel.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's just my opinion. I'm probably gonna get in trouble now.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all.
I mean, I could take Alabama's helmet and put it on John Mateer and say he's an Alabama player, I guess. I just don't mean he is.
Don't steal him away from us. We need him. We need him.
Your mother was Jewish. There's nothing wrong with being Jewish, man. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that some of the Jewish people out there are just like every other religion. They're corrupt, like the Catholics. They're probably got a lot of corruption going on. All these religions got corruption in them. Michael Jackson said he was scared of the Jews. He thinks the Jews were out to kill him. He ended up dead too, didn't he?
Michael might be crazy though.
Michael might be a little off the head. He's out there chasing giraffes with monkeys, you know. So
stop teasing, outlaw.
What I do? Who said that?
Stop teasing.
Who said that?
Michael Jackson.
Oh, my bad. I didn't catch it. I'm big, I'm bad, I know it. You know that damn video? You know that video?
I'm bad.
That's when MTV was MTV.
Once again, who's bad? Do what?
Yeah, and he's like bowing up on people, and they're scared of him. I'm like, man, you don't weigh but 120 pounds, man. Be realistic, man. You ain't some superhero.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, what's his name was in that video. The black dude that was in Major League, that Willie Mays Hayes. God dang. He was also in the vampire movie, Blade Runner. Wasn't it Blade Runner?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, thank you.
What about Wesley? What about him?
Wesley was in
Look, man, I'll be honest with you. When I was growing up, when I first heard Michael Jackson stuff, I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah, Wesley Snipes was in the bad video.
Oh, was he? Yeah. Was he? I didn't know that. That's back when MTV was MTV, man. There's some good stuff. You remember the Thriller video coming out?
Of course.
That shit was epic, man.
Of course, dude.
That shit actually scared me. I was real young. Oh shit!
I went and rented that from the. You know, you go rent it like a movie. You go rent the video, bring it home, and watch the. They would show the making of it and everything, and then it ended with the full video. Yeah, it was awesome.
The Bible says the Jews are the chosen people. Well, I don't know. I have to read up on it. I mean, I remember hearing something sort of like that because I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church. My grandfather was a preacher. A lot of people don't know that. Now you do. But sometimes things are said in the Bible, in my opinion, that are not meant to be taken literal. And people take shit that's figurative and they make it literal to fit their own narrative, to make their religion the most important religion, in my opinion. I'm not trying to piss Jewish people off, but I just don't think God will just have one chosen people.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Probably not in the long
Opinions
scheme.
are like assholes, right? We all got one.
That's right.
All
Hell yeah.
right, brother, you ready to cut it? Or you want to go a
Yeah,
little bit
man.
more?
Nah, man, I think we did good tonight. I had fun talking to everybody tonight.
Yep, this is what we're going to do during the off season because we ain't got much else to do. We might talk some NCAA basketball tournament and some NFL shit. I don't know, but we are going to talk more politics probably. So if you see a political title and you don't like talking politics, just don't come in. Just wait till we talk about something you like because I don't want to piss you off.
You know what we're getting close to. You know what's coming up fast.
What's that?
Softball season.
Oh shit. Softball live streams. Softball live streams.
That's it. I
made some money off that shit.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, boss. I'll be in touch, man. I'll give you a holler.
All right, take care.
Take it easy, man.
Killer Breeze, the consummate Oklahoma roughneck, was in the house to help us talk about the politics of these United States today. This was about the Minnesota ICE shooting at the beginning. This video will go to podcast after we get off of here if you want to listen to the first part of it to hear some of that stuff about the Minnesota ICE shooting and our debate on that. Also, as you can see, America First. We're going to start doing these. This will be America First episode 1 today, but we'll have episode 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, so on and so forth. Israel back in time of Jesus' time was called Judah, says Thunder OU Sooner. You know what they say, though, to be honest with you, the thing that really turns friends against friends is politics and religion, people. And I think they're right, man. We really are skirting on some dangerous topics here when we get in here and do this. It's probably going to rub people the wrong way. So maybe we'll take another look at this, and maybe we won't do as many political videos in the future. Because like I said, I don't want to rub people the wrong way and make them unsubscribe. But they say that the two things you should never talk to with your closest friends are politics and religion because you're going to piss somebody off. Jewish people basically have the first 3 books of the Bible in the Torah. By the way, I'm not Jewish by faith. I'm Christian. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm undenominational, whatever they call it. I grew up in a Southern Baptist church. Like I said, my grandfather was a preacher. And sort of got away from that. Backslid a little bit. Backslid a lot. But I do believe in God. And that's the main thing. I think all of us in here, most of us that are in here, believe that there's a God that loves all of us that deserve his love, right? Even the ones of us that cuss and raise hell. Right, Denizen? Right, Lori? Right, Thunder? Who else we got in here? Denizen? Well, I think I already said Denizen, right? I am Sooner. All y'all, man. Don't take it to heart. Just express your views, and we'll keep doing more of these. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also, you can get, if you want to be in the Outlaw Posse, it's $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. You get a badge, you get deputized. It's a join button by the subscribe button. And you can also donate to the show through their little heart thanks that'll be at the bottom after this goes to podcasts, wherever you want to help. Keep the lights on. KMCA to all the other teams, class is now dismissed.